Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about it, Your girl said he broke her heart. Your boy said she didn't love him from the start. It was never meant to be. You ask me how I know, cause everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about it, See, these streets got the hottest gossip that everybody wants to know. The hottest cars, the movie stars, or getting paid every other Friday.
What's up, everybody? And welcome to Everybody's Talking About It, the show where we talk about everything that everybody's talking about is up. I'm your boy Mar.Jayy, and it's season 6. Season 6 came hard to you a couple days ago when we opened up the season real wild with that crazy ass What You Say game and got some of y'all lit that played that game. And we were up. But here we are. We're going to start the season. This is episode 1. We are getting into family. This one is really touchy. This one is touchy.
Very on point for this current season.
I wasn't mindful of starting the season off so heavy, but some shit got to be said because this is something that's universal. It's not like just a pinpoint. Everybody got a family. So this is something that millions of people will be able to relate to. So as always, we're going to introduce everybody at the table, and then we're going to get into the conversation. Give it up, Jordan!
What's up? What's good?
Jordan?
What's up?
It's season 6.
It's season 6.
How are you feeling?
I feel good. I'm ready to talk about today's topic.
Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. All right, so I feel like you're about to get deep on me, but I'm good with that.
I might try to do too much, but yes.
I like it. So Shawnee's here is actually my family. She's my cousin. We are, her mother is my first cousin. Our fathers are were brothers who passed away. God rest him, Jeffrey. So here's my cousin Shawnee's. How are you?
Good.
Thank you for all that you do for me. I appreciate you guys. I always call she is my cousin.
Because family do you the work.
Yes, they do. They will wear and tear. Yes.
Which is
love
true.
Shawnee's stuff.
But she is there to support me all the time. Like I said, she's my cousin, but she's more like a little sister. Like she's there for me emotionally and all that stuff. So I appreciate you.
The big brother I never asked for.
And the little sister I never wanted. And coincidentally, me and Leah here are family too.
We're siblings.
We're a family
brother.
too. We are family. We always say
What
we're
did we
brother
say?
and
We
sister.
said our family tree is
It's dynamic.
so intertwined.
So wait, let's
It'll
just
be
keep
days.
it short though. Her older sister and my older brother have a son together who was born before both of us. So Saheed was born in April, Aaliyah was born that December, and I came the following November. So that's how that
Our
worked
parents
out.
was all getting nasty together. But it goes deeper. It goes deeper because my mom and Maurice's dad were best friends as kids. As kids.
Yep.
My mom and Maurice's uncle met one day. I just randomly met one day out on the street and fell in love, and that became like that's the first dad I've ever known. And it's crazy. Like South Philly too damn small. That's what it is.
Cool.
Told you there's so many vines and
we share a nephew.
Yeah. So that is my brother.
It might be your cousin.
Love that. And my best friend Rodney, who is my family. We've been best friends for 17 years, and there's nothing that he does not know. He's been a part of my family for pretty much a lot of things. Just not like this show. He comes to funerals, birthday parties, all of that stuff. He's really been a part of my family forever. He stayed at my house. We've grown up together. We've had a lot of our first experiences and stuff we shared together. So Rodney, thank you for being my family.
Yeah, my lecture.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody's family.
Rodney is really a good dude.
But
let's talk about family. And I don't want to, I know we started off saying that it might get deep, which it might, but there is also light moments to family too that we can talk about as well. But I particularly also, that you see here sitting in front of me is somebody that I consider family. My mother was best friends with someone for 65 years. They met when they were 5 years old. Unfortunately, we lost her this year. And I am dedicating this episode to her. This is why she's here. This is my Aunt Gail, who I will love forever. This was more than just my mother's best friend. This was her sister. This was my aunt. So we are going to get into family, and I want to even talk about people that may not be, because there's a difference between blood makes you relative,
Yes.
love makes you family.
Yes.
And that's just what it is.
Absolutely.
And that's all it is. So we can start. Let's get into it. How do y'all feel about family? Jordan, kick it off, because I said you got a lot to talk about.
Family is interesting for me because my family dynamic has shifted greatly, like over this year. But I will say, growing up, I was not close with my family. I felt like the black sheep in my family for a very long time, and I was more accepted by my friends' families. So my high school years, my college years, I felt like I was developed, or the way that I am now, I gained that because I was around my friends' families. It's only now that I've become very close with my cousins, and I've become close with my family. But growing up, it was like never like this. I'm grateful for the journey that we've had, but it sucks that I don't have a childhood where I felt like me and my family were really tight. I was around them all the time, but I never felt like I was a part of my family. So yeah.
Shanice, you have a similar story.
I mean, dad's side and my mom, which is considered you, didn't know you the whole life. I met you one time when I was like 16, and that's when my mom was like, oh, this is my cousin Maurice. Let me know who Maurice was. My dad's side, same thing. His family members don't know any of them. Only people I actually knew was my mom and my aunt and I. Like, we cousins, but we just became family when I was 16. So that was like damn near 10 years ago that we been cool.
Yeah.
But before then, I never knew who he was.
Yeah.
My mom was like, yeah, I got family on that side, but I never knew his dad or my uncle or my aunts.
Wow.
Isn't it so crazy how it's usually always the dad's side that's so far off from the family? And I always understood.
No.
But it's so
Like, I
funny
think so
because
too.
but
It's
it's
just
so
always
crazy.
the
I
dad's
feel
side.
closer to my dad's side
That's what
than I
I'm
do
gonna say.
my mom's
For
side.
me, yes, I'm
Because
so close to my dad's side.
I don't know why,
Yes.
but I honestly feel closer to my dad's side because her mom is on my dad's side, but my mom's side I'm close to in a way, like my mom's immediate side, like her sister and her children. God rest my aunt soul too. But yeah, that's it. But like my dad's side is bigger, I think, maybe because my dad it was 9 of them all together, and they all had a bunch of kids, so maybe that's why.
Still don't know half of them.
Yeah, so niece is like that.
I can't believe y'all like living, not like just met, but like
Yeah,
y'all
it's
didn't
crazy.
grow up together.
No.
No.
I met him. I figured
Because
we
her
were
mother
really
is really my first cousin,
Yeah.
so she's really
So
like
that's
that.
already a
That's already a
difference.
decade
A
difference
different
because
generation.
her mother will be 50 soon, and
Yeah.
I'm still in my early 30s. So it's like, and they all, because that's what happens when your parents like us have us late, and that's
Yeah.
something that goes on in the
They
black
have older
household.
kids and
Where
then
you're
they-
sitting out here making sure your shit still works, so you gotta get out here and have babies in your 40s and shit.
She did. My mom married me at 41, and that's why
My dad was 41, my mom was 39. No.
I invited him to my mom's 37th birthday party. I texted him on Facebook Messenger. Still didn't know, but my mom was like, "Well, that's my cousin Maurice." And there's a bunch of people that were like always want to follow me. And I'm like, "Well, who is this?
Who is
that?"
this?
And she's like, "Well, that's your uncle, Dad. So that's your cousin." I'm like, "Okay."
That's my
But
dad's side.
He
I'll
came
get
to my mom's
messages.
birthday party, and he was surprised that I invited him. Still didn't know him, but we didn't like reconnect until like I started inviting him to like my proms and all that stuff.
But let me tell you why that's a problem for me.
Mm.
Because here's the thing, when does it stop?
Yeah.
Like, we are like in black families in particular, we carry so much shit on to the next generation that has nothing to do with them. And it's like at the end of the day, you really don't know when you'll need somebody in your life or in your child's life after you're gone. Who is that person supposed to be left to if you don't want to connect them with nobody.
Well, you know why Yolanda didn't.
I understand that. But
So these get ready to have a whole family.
But I do know that. But I'm not saying that that's a different
He
situation.
know the
I'm not
reason why
saying
he
that
know
it's
that.
not. But that's where the conversation needs to be had, though,
Yeah.
too. It's a difference between saying, all right, this happened, so I have to stop. That means I don't want nothing to do with it. Or saying, you know what, this has to stop, but let me fix it. Let me go ahead and try to get a solution through this shit, because I don't want this to pass on through generations, and my kids only know.
I wonder what that is though, because even I'm looking at my family dynamic. Whereas, shout out to my cousin, she's trying to start like a yearly family reunion on my dad's side. Cause she called me, she was like, "Listen, we all grew up together." She's not my age bracket, but some of my other cousins we were.
Yeah.
We grew up together. She's like, "But our kids don't know each other."
Right.
So she's trying to bridge that gap. But my question was, why do you think that happens? Like, why do we just fall off so bad?
Because people
Is it trauma?
don't
Did
continue.
something happen?
It's the trauma.
It's trauma.
That's the baseline.
Mhm.
But what builds on top of that is the people, the generations not wanting to fix that trauma.
Yep.
They just
They don't
wanting
care.
to say, this has happened and let's leave it at that, so fuck them. And we're good. So then now you have to have, your kids have to get married and start their own families, and now this is your only family.
That's like
This is all that
me.
matters.
Like, I didn't feel the need to reach out and get to know all of them. I still don't. I feel like if I didn't know you back then growing up, then it wasn't meant for me to know you. Like, my mom closed us off from her dad's side of the family from whatever trauma she been through. Now, she will always say there's a few that she messes with, which would be him, his mom, and like 2 other cousins. But I still never knew them until that we had like one big family function, and I'd be like, well, who is this and who is that?
Yeah.
But again, I'm 16 now. So it's like,
But see, I was the opposite of that. I was intuitive. So now I want to know. Like me, I really was like, all right, let me meet these people or let me know. So I would ask my dad and my mom a lot of questions about both sides of my family. Like, all right, who's this child? Who's that child? Because I'm like, want to know. Because now, at the end of the day, we still got to live in this city together. Like Aaliyah said, this city too fucking small for us not to be knowing who our fucking relatives are. And now we sleeping with each other or if somebody in trouble.
But
It's
you know why it is,
like,
Maurice?
no.
Because, like, for an example, like we was talking about Aunt Gail. Aunt Gail ain't your blood, right? But that was somebody who wasn't toxic. You know what I mean? She loved your mom loved her, so, you know what I mean? She loved your mom's kids and all of that. So, your mom decided, you know, this is who I want to be my family. And you probably got other aunts or whoever the case in your family. Some people feel like this. Family or not, I have the right to cut off any toxicity
And I'm like that
in my
too.
life.
I'm
Yes.
like
And
that
that's
too.
probably where some
I
of that
agree.
disconnect
Yeah.
comes from.
That's where
Somebody
I-
decided that I'm done with this.
My God.
Family
I
or
agree.
not, blood or not, you're toxic and I don't have to deal with that.
And I agree because you know where I'm at with that in my life.
I
I
know.
already had somebody where I didn't cut off. Whereas like I don't even care about the relationship like this. I just want respect from my mother. That's it. At the end of the day, because now I've got to the point with you, I can't do this shit no more. Because
It's
it's
like
like
that.
it's gonna be you and me. Because look, y'all need Jesus.
I agree.
Yeah.
And Rodney, like, I really love what you just said because that's currently where I am.
Yeah.
Like, in my life, like, a big situation happened between me and my parents and my sister. And it took me to be like, okay, look, like, I'm the oldest, it's only me and her. But the dynamics of how we are, I see that y'all are going to cater more to her and how she feels and what she does. And it's like, I'm the one that has to kind of do shit kind of like on my own. So it's like, I had to learn to be okay with who my parents are, and I had to learn to be okay with who my sister is, and to realize that I may not be on the same level that they are. So I love y'all, and we gonna be blood, but I gotta distance myself and separate
my peace.
myself
Yep.
for my own peace, which really kind of has worked out in the end because I have a new job, and so we thank you. So
Doors
I
are
will.
opening when you let
Doors are
somebody
opening.
touch
Yes,
you.
I learned that.
And it's crazy because I'm so optimistic about, because I have to leave and relocate for the job. I'm optimistic about the future because of how crazy shit is right now. And the silver lining is me and my dad have grown so much closer. Me and my dad have been playing catch up on all the years we didn't have when I was growing up. And my dad was present in the house, but we were never close. So it was like, it wasn't
That's
until,
hard.
Ain't that deep?
That's
and you
hard.
know what I'm saying? Like, we weren't close at all, and it wasn't until my parents divorced when I was in college where that breakdown was what prompted me and my dad to start building our relationship. And so through all that's been going on over the last 2-3 months, he's shown up for me like heavily. And so I'm grateful like to have that. It sucks to not be in that space with my mom and my sister, but I also realize like when you've done the work that you've done to emotionally get stuff together, mentally get stuff together, and when you're at peace in your life and those around you are not, it's gonna be a decision you gotta make because you can't rob me or bring me backwards for the progression that I've made.
Family or not.
Family or not. Family or not.
I gotta deal with that.
Yeah, so that's hard.
I'm telling you, I grew up with siblings who I wasn't close with. Again, my mom had me when my sister was 20 and my brother was 18. So I grew up as like the only child in the house with my mom. And she raised them a lot different than she raised me. Joan was out on South Philly streets, baby. Joan was a queen pin down South Philly. I mean, from everything you think of, Joan was out here doing it. And my sister and my brother was deep in that, lived it. I didn't. I had the good life. My mom was at every parent-teacher conference. She was at every class trip. She packed my lunch. The teachers knew who my mom was. I was able to have sleepovers. My friends would come over. I had Christmas shit lined up from the front door to the kitchen. Like, I had the good childhood. And I'm like, fuck this little girl get.
I was gonna say, did that cause resentment between y'all?
It does.
My family,
But it ain't your fault.
It ain't my fault. Until that, I mean,
no, not your fault. Yeah,
I have a sibling that we just can't ever get close. And it's like, no matter how many conversations we have, interventions, we was almost on the island. Like, I was on the phone one y'all. I had to interview and everything. Like, we was almost there.
Wow.
And the sibling didn't want it. I was ready to tell my story.
I was ready to go.
I think it was like so many, the process, it was so many people that I had to bring on with family. Like, you had to
but I know mine wouldn't turn out good.
But it's like, and now at 33, it's like you realize you don't need the relationship.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need it. I have a sibling that I love. She's not blood. She's my brother. Actually, my brother's ex-girlfriend. But they've been together for years. They have been separated for years now. But that's my sister.
But you know what the problem is? It doesn't hurt any less.
No.
That's the problem. Like, like you cause the feeling of having other people in your life, like your chosen family, feels good because they love you, they support you, but it's still that emptiness because this is not mine. Like, this is just not mine. And like, as I know, me and my mom will go to like holiday stuff and stuff with our extended families and stuff like that. And it feels good because we've known these people for years and all of that. The relationship is tight. Like, you couldn't tell us we weren't family, but we know that we're, actually not. And when you know that you actually have family out there that you're just not close to, it doesn't hurt any less. It just doesn't.
No, and I agree with that because, like I said before, growing up, I would say that at my friend's house, like, damn, all they cousins hang out, they close together, and I'll be looking around like, it's cool that I'm accepted as a part of it. I'm like the nephew, or you know what I'm saying? But this is not me. And it's like when I go with my own family, it's like, well, shit, well, why we not like that? Even within my family, I look at my cousin and her brother, and I'm like, that's never been me and my sister. And it's never, I ain't gonna say never, but it's really never gonna be us for real. But it's like you become okay and you accept the dynamics for really what they are.
I had that reaction with my boyfriend's family like when we first got together. I called them the TV family because
they're close like that?
Close. Wow. They're super tight.
That's nice.
Mom lives 2 doors down, aunt lives around the corner, grandma lives around the other corner, her sister lives down the street, Pop lives on the other side of town, but they still
They live in South Philly.
No, they live in Sharon Hill.
South Philly love
Sharon Hill. But they've been so
That's
close.
nice.
Like, they just pop up at each other's houses just to sit there, relax, and watch TV. And I'm like, oh, y'all really a TV family. Like, y'all really do this.
Did any of that kind of come into like y'all relationship?
It did in the beginning because it's like my family, like me and my mom and my sister, we're not like that. Like, for dinner, we be in our own room eating.
Me too.
They be at the table. Oh, I cooked this. Everybody come on over. We're going to sit here. And I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
So then it became an issue when I had my first kid because I'm not used to the closeness. But then you got his aunt. Hey, I'm my friend. I want to see the baby. And his mom.
That's what I was trying to get to. I'm
and I'm like all these people in the house every single day.
You had to get used to it.
Then I started telling my little lie, like, oh, I'm not home.
We ain't home.
I'm upstairs. to bed.
And the reason why is because I also learned in relationships, when you're dating somebody and y'all come from different family backgrounds,
Preach.
that
Yes.
brings
You
that
finna
thing.
preach.
Like that
You
was
finna
something.
preach.
That's something I went through with my ex, and it was like all of the trauma that he had from his family. I got all of that. You know, so the stuff with his mom, with his dad, with all of that.
Yes.
So he said to me one day, he was like, "Oh, well, I knew I had to worry about your friends, but now I gotta worry about your family stepping on my toes." And I'm like, nigga, you could be going tomorrow, they'll still be here like next month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and we broke up like 2-3 months after that, but it's just like, it was hard navigating that space because he doesn't come from the family background that I come from. Dating someone that came off of survival versus me who came off of love.
I'll throw this over there. I'll throw it.
It really
You
is.
know that's what I preach all the time.
It's a real thing. It's
You
a
gotta
real thing.
fix your family
Yes.
trauma.
I'm telling you, before
Because
you
to
get
get
with
with
somebody,
somebody else and start another family, it's the same.
you drag all of that.
Drag
You
all
drag
of that
all of
with
that.
you. I
Yes.
get it.
I've
Y'all did it
dated
differently,
people
but
like that.
But that's
Not
It's
Love.
hard.
It was
It's
hard.
And you know what it
Very
is?
hard.
And the pain and the after effects of it all is just crazy. For me, because I am like that. I can separate for peace reasons. Mine is always looking at the emotional distress that's on my mother mind. Like the wear and tear that's
That is
on
hard.
her.
That is
That I
hard.
literally have to like kind of, emotionally soothe her through. And that's hard.
Yeah.
Because it is. It's like, because I'm not the only child, but not being able to have all of your children tangible, all of your grandchildren tangible, that is pain. And then all of those emotions that she could have spread amongst all of us go right on to me. So whether if it's pain, if it's love, if it's happiness, if it's sorrow, I can't spread that out amongst my siblings and say, let's do this together. And say, it's all on me. So the likelihood of me having emotions out of that would have to be suppressed in that moment because I have to help her.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. And that's a lot, and it's
that's
heavy.
a lot of
Damn,
And
that's
that's
heavy.
what family will
It's a
do.
lot
And it's like
on
people
one
don't
person.
think about those kinds of
I
things.
go through that as well.
And it's like, because my thing is I never will say like, oh, this is too much for me. That's my mother.
Yeah.
Like, that's my mother. I
Yeah.
don't give a hell what she going through. She's my mother.
Yeah.
She could be literally on her leg, one leg, cross-eyed back, and everything, crying all night. That's my mother.
That's my mother. However, because I know I'm not the only child,
Yeah.
it's just not cool for certain siblings to be able to check out.
Yes.
That's it.
And that's the problem
That's
that
all
I
about
have.
Yeah.
You don't get to just check out.
You
Yeah.
don't get that. That's
Now, I don't have an issue because that's my mother.
Yeah.
And you only get one.
Yeah.
However,
Get one.
since I'm not an only child, you just get to check out?
And all of that weight is just on me. You get to chill. You get to reap and even reap the benefits
creates
of
resentment.
it creates
See,
resentment.
my problem is though is on the flip side though, because here's the thing, mine is that it's not that she just will check out. She'll make sure I'll drop all of this emotional baggage on you and then check out.
leave.
Oh.
So that's what it is. I'm going to verbally abuse
Unload.
you, emotionally abuse you, and then I'll check
And
out.
then leave.
So then I then have to deal with that, and you know where that takes me.
And then you leaving
I'm
free.
at
and
the
you
airport.
leaving.
No, I'm at the airport. At that point,
Maurice,
I'm at the
I'm saying that
motherfucking
person
airport.
that under
Maurice
all of that.
tries to pull up.
I'm at the because that woman has been through fucking hell.
Yeah.
I will not lie to you, and this is not something I say because a lot of people always can talk, about their story. But that woman has been through fucking hell. She has survived the fucking worst of it, and to still be this pleasant woman that everybody
Yes.
loves her to be is fucking amazing to me.
Yeah.
And to look the fucking way she does doing it.
Yeah.
I literally thank God every day
That is
that
so true.
that woman has
Yeah.
had the strength that
That
God has given
he's
her the
not
strength
lying.
that she has after the things that she has fucking survived. There's no way
I love
I'm letting that
she
shit
don't
ride
look
for
like
any
nothing.
fucking
You would never
She's
even
been
believe
through.
it. I barely
fucking
believe
you got me fucked up.
it.
I will beat your
That's,
fucking ass.
that's my other mommy.
Yes,
My
I love
grandmother and his mom were.
just like
Just
that.
like that.
And it's hard. It's really, really hard. This goes around
Take
to
it
everybody
back.
that's trying to. And you know what? I always compare myself. Y'all remember the movie Soul Food? My whole childhood reminded me of Ahmad.
Ahmad.
I was him.
Really?
Always lying and trying to find funny ways to get the family back together, to get us to speak again. Of course, she could watch the kids. Just bring them over and we can. Or yeah, I would just do all kinds of shit just to make sure people would speak. I'm burnt the fuck out.
Remember we tried to plan the family reunion?
Yeah, plan a family reunion. Nobody wanted to come together.
We gotta pay for a shirt. I gotta bring hot dogs. I said, but it's in my damn house. Which more do you got? I'm bringing the location, the table, the chair. The least I can do is bring food.
And nobody even wanted to come together to do the little shit. It's like, Rodney, like you said, for some reason, what is the hold on black families wanting to come back together? How hard is that?
Somebody mad about something.
That's going to damage 50 other people, that's going to sway 50 other people's opinions?
They don't care.
And I will say it's crazy because being that matriarch role, it can be anybody, it can be any age. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got to be the grandma. I'm like, my cousin who passed 2 years ago at 40, she was our matriarch of our family. Everything was at her house. Anything that went down, they ran to her first. And when she passed, and then my aunt passed a month and a half after hers, the shift in my family has been tremendous because it was like our legs left, and now that our legs are gone, we still been trying to stay afloat.
Nobody was ready to take
nobody was ready. Like we knew my aunt was gonna pass, and my cousin died instantly. Here they go tomorrow, literally, and it's just like us trying to navigate life without them is crazy because now everybody's colors are really showing because they hid so much. So, but being that person that you are that pinpoint, and being that person that you got to be in the center and got to get everybody together, it's difficult.
Let me tell you what else is difficult. Y'all have realized that. Let me ask y'all this: do y'all? How do I want to ask the question? Shit. Do y'all realize that your greatest character building will come from your fucking family? Your strength, the biggest strength will come from your family. Because I don't know about everybody else's family. But the reason why my skin is so tough on the exterior of how I do things is because I done already been through all that shit in my family. Whether it was insults, the sideways looks, the questions, the backward shit, any of that shit, the abuse, all of that shit started at home first.
Yes.
That prepared me for the world to say, damn, if that shit happened at home, I can survive anything.
Thank you.
I can survive.
Thank you.
Well,
if my family can do that, I'm good with the strength.
That's what I said.
I will say I'm grateful that I was shielded from a lot. That was a really good thing happened with my family. We were close. And I got shielded from a lot, so when I got into the real world, it was like, oh God, I'm not used to that. There was love in my house.
The real world was
peace
the
in my
house.
I'm in the middle of
Love,
this.
everybody on the outside of my house.
The real world was a Valentine's Day card to me.
Wow.
Because compared to the shit that the family didn't put you through.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you wanted to hug everybody.
Right.
This is what love is? Oh my God. Finally. Oh God. Now I know.
That I found the family love with my boyfriend's family.
See?
That's very good.
Because it wasn't happening over at ours.
It wasn't happening.
But I'm glad you accepted it.
I love that.
At first, it was weird because I'm like, I wasn't used to them wanting to help and be there and be so involved, and I'm like, this is fucking
But
weird.
you were mature enough to learn to accept it.
And I was mature
So
enough
you
to
broke that chain,
understand that it
you know what I
wasn't,
mean?
and that's why, like, with me and him, me not knowing him, I'm like, well, he has family in California from his dad's side. Like, his dad passed away. You still got uncles and aunts all in California, San Francisco. So I'm like, let's make sure our kids know everyone. Because I don't want them to be like me, not knowing who they are. And plus, he got a lot of people that got their own business out there. I'm going to make sure my kids are before I
and be
leave.
connected.
Connected. You got an uncle that owns this, a grandfather that owns that. You got your aunt that's coming to Georgia. She owns this too. Get your hand in that. You got a famous cousin
from
over
my
there.
friends. I learned all that from my friendships, my friend relationships. Growing up with those people, Brianna's family, Rodney, Aaliyah's family, all these people's families that I had in my life, Keith and Chris and people that I've grown up with. That's where I've known love. Gail's family, everybody. That's where I learned it. Because at my house, it wasn't not my house, like my mother was good. But I'm saying where I came from, that shit wasn't like that.
And that's how I feel. Like it got to the point even where my mom was dying. And my stepdad had to come in and like lay my aunts out one day because I had one aunt, like my mom's best friend. But it's really they were born as sisters. They were damn near born together like twins. But growing up as siblings, you become best friends. But she was just always just so like overbearing and stuff. My mom was dying. And my aunt came in one day and was like, Lily, like, why you ain't clean your room? My stepdad said her fucking mother is dying. And you think the last thing she worried about was cleaning her room? And my stepdad just like blacked out and went off because it's like, I'm 17. My mom is on her last breath. And you asking me why my fucking room ain't clean. Like, are you serious right now? Because it's like, family can be so overbearing and then so toxic and they don't even realize it.
And that was
That's the wrong time.
Yes,
What's up with black people wanting you to clean during your time of bereavement? You be knowing that? Like, come on, help her clean up real quick. Like, come on, help her clean up. If you don't sit down,
And maybe you can help me clean, or how about you clean?
You
Like,
Why
yeah,
didn't
you
you
just do it.
that's one thing that always black
Why
people.
didn't you thank you? Why
When
didn't
the
you
black
I
family, when
thought that
somebody
was so
died, they
crazy.
want you to clean it, and it's always that ain't no food in here. Ain't nobody got no food for
That
it.
is the worst. Like, and it was just so many people in and out the house, and it was like nobody took into account like my feelings.
Yeah.
And then I think my dad watched it. You know, he watched all of it. But as living, not being married, there ain't really much my dad can say. But you know, my dad's watching everything, and he's taking me out, making sure I'm good, buying me stuff. And I think that was the straw when the camel's back. Cause he's like, yo, her fucking mom is dying, and you're talking about why her room is like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So somebody died, that's when the family really acts stupid. You can
They
always count.
My
They
mom
come
was
down
the
to the funeral,
matriarch.
And don't let some money be involved, okay? Don't let a life insurance policy be
My
involved.
mom
She'll
was
be
the
behind
matriarch.
with some
I'm trying to
My
figure
whole
out
family
what happened
showed they
to my
ass when
family
my mom
because
passed away.
I don't think nobody died for them to be.
But just in general.
They like that just because.
Well, my mom been through trauma with her father.
Yeah.
So that she never got therapy for. She blamed my grandma for the
We
loneliness.
don't like to go there.
So then me growing up, she took all her
That generation.
anger like out on me. So I became the human punching bag to the point that I didn't want to live. Like I tried to kill myself multiple times growing up. So for me, it was just like the only time I heard the words "I love you" was when I got an A. So I felt like I had to be a straight A student so I could hear the "I love you." And I was always had to be the perfect kid just to get my mom's attention and notice me. That's why I've been a straight A student up until college. When I got my first C, I cried because I felt like a failure and like she wasn't going to be there for me.
I'm so sorry.
My little sister,
I am so sorry.
She-
You know my fucking nerves.
Because it's like,
No,
I
but
just can't admit,
that,
like,
that's so real.
I
Like, that's
haven't
so
experienced,
real.
I've had
Like,
friends who've experienced, like, again, like when you're at my house, my mom, my stepdad, who I love, and to this day, friends who've met me outside of high school don't know that he's not my real father. Probably my dad. Ain't nobody telling me he's not. So I came from love. But to meet people who haven't, it's like, oh my God.
But
Like,
that's why I feel
like not being close with your mom, that's a jealousy thing for me. Like not being close with your mom, I could never understand it because
Say it again.
I can never understand it.
Because here's
Because
the
mine, I would give anything to have a day. Like just one more day. And I'm like,
I'm close with her
you don't
now.
like your
But
mom?
I know that
Like
people
what?
can. I know that people can. You know, everybody brags about their mother, and I ain't taking nothing away. But that Jesus, my mother, baby. If I can never think, that's why I always say when I said that woman has been my rock. That woman is not only a nurturer, she was a provider. And in a stern, hard, rude job, I will whoop your fucking ass. She
With a
did just
smile.
that. You know what I mean? And that's what I said, it's so hard. But that's why I said I always give her a lot of credit because my dad was there. I can't say that our relationship, like you said, Jordan, got closer in my adult life. And we were able to talk and get to a really, really good place and understand because I was able to have really good
real conversations
with my dad. Like,
and you have a man-to-man
a lot of
conversation.
conversations.
Like,
I mean, a lot of questions. I really, really did. And we would sit on the phone for about 2 to 3 hours, and I would get a chance to really, really know my dad. That now we are really, really, really close. Like every day he texts me good morning, and I literally look forward to that. If he don't text me good morning in the morning, I'm flipping out. Like, where you at, Albert? Where you at? So, and I love my dad, and that's just my parents. I'm so grateful because, like you said, when they get older, and you start realizing how short life is, because this was untimely. This was something that we weren't even looking forward to. We weren't ready for. We weren't expecting this. So it's just life is too short, and you have to love on everybody around you. I encourage everybody out there
Once my mom found
to
Jesus.
connect with your family. Connect with your
It'll
family
change
out
you.
there, y'all.
Sure will.
We getting up out of here, but listen, whatever you do, try to, if you can't, if there's no way possible, if you feel like you're at that what's in with your family, then I would pray about it or go see a therapist first. before you totally isolate yourself from something that may be important in the long run. If it is fixable, I encourage you to reach out while you can. Life is that short.
Yes, it
You
is.
just never know. Like you just never know. So this is everybody's talking about it. Next week we're getting into self-awareness. You gotta know who you are.
Episode
That's a
2.
good one right
Good one.
there.
Yeah.
This episode is dedicated to you, Auntie Russell.
We love you, Aunt
Yeah.
Gail.
This is it. Everybody's talking about.
What's the hardest thing about dealing with family and generational curses?
People not wanting to break them. People in the family who just want to continue on holding on to the pain instead of finding ways to let it go and to start something better for the next generation. So opening the door and the window to say what was in the past is in the past, let me forgive and try to find a way to move on instead of just prolonging it by just sitting in the pain. So that's the hardest part.
Who is your favorite family member?
Ooh. My mom. My
Me.
mom is the best.
Ooh, my favorite family member right now will be my sister, my little sister.
My favorite family member, hands down, my little brother. That's my dog. Sorry, everybody else.
I love them all. It would have to be between my father, my youngest sibling, and my twin.
My favorite family member, I'm gonna say it's either my mom, because she's my mom and she's cool. And yeah, I don't know, my mom. I'm gonna have to go ahead and say my mom. Yeah, that's my girl, that's my dog. Hey, mom. My mom. Definitely my mom.
Oh man, who is my favorite family member? I would say my brother.
My favorite person. It's a confession. I love you, Jeff. But it has to be JJ, my son.
Out of my family? My sister Christina, and then we talking about this family. Man, let me see. I love everybody, but my favorites are Rodney. I love Rodney. I can't go no further. I like Kalia. Oh, this is rough. But go ahead.